that feel when the game is supposed to start in 30 minutes and instead it starts now and you can't eat dinner and you're hungry? Feels bad, man, gun. But guys, welcome back. We got SLI. It's going to be constantly rolling forward. Gotta say, love it when tournaments do this. Shit's awesome to just have games and then games and then games and then you're done instead of all this waiting. Oh, nobody likes waiting. Absolutely no one. So we are back in once again. We're going to watch as paiN Gaming take on Mad Kings. Now, I actually don't know who the end is near is. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think that's just like a rando. I don't think I've actually seen someone named the end is near play. Maybe once or twice before. But it might be someone, I don't know. You may just look at the teams and say, oh, paiN easy 2-0. And I think a good portion of the population would agree with you in that one. But you know what? Mad Kings are definitely not to be underestimated.
10 seconds remaining.
They don't really have the, that name brand recognition of someone like HFN,
remaining.
King RD, Tavo, these people who have been around the SA scene since the beginning of time. But you know what? Mad Kings have been performing really well. Not really, like, good enough to beat the SG Esports of the world and the Sacreds of the world. Like, they will most likely lose series against those teams. But man, they have had such a great rise. It's really refreshing to see, like, all these guys who have not... Again, these guys aren't veterans. They are just new guys, or newer guys, to the larger scene. And they're starting to make some headway. So I'm interested to see what Mad Kings can bring to the table. Again, I'm not expecting them to beat paiN here, unless paiN are just really off their rocker. You never know. But I do expect them to put up a hell of a good fight. It's probably not going to be a 2-0, is all I'm saying. I'm Mike Lawrence, going to be your caster for this game. And let me just quickly... Okay, we should be good. We should be good. Quickly look at the bans, I guess, is what I was going to say.
10 seconds remaining.
Note the Spirit Breaker first ban. I don't think there are many teams that actually
5
play Spirit
seconds
Breaker
remaining.
anymore. Like even when you're like bottom barrel looking for that last support, you're not going to consider him. He's just out. There are maybe a couple teams here and there, and if those teams exist, they would be in the SA region, but I'm pretty sure that's just a little bit of a wasted ban there. That being said, everything else looking, if not normal, justifiable. We have seen Mad Kings go for this Undying a lot in the past. We've seen a lot of these, not super premium SA teams go for the Undying a lot in the past, and it's been
10 seconds
pretty
remaining.
good. Mixed success, let's say. But still,
5 seconds
the
remaining.
picks are going to be Ancient Apparition for the paiN Gaming side, Winter Wyvern, and the
Radiant
Brewmaster
team back.
for Mad Kings. paiN will get the staple in their pucks, so they'll be pretty happy with this opening, especially versus that Brewmaster. A quick blink silence, absolutely a necessity if you're going to actually kill him off, because AA does not have jack to kill off a Brewmaster. Early on, you can just poke at
10
him
seconds
if he gets a little bit
remaining.
too far out, put that cold feet on him, drop the chili fingers, and start beating him
5
down for real.
seconds remaining.
But, in the later stages of the game, Brewmaster will always be able to escape that. So, Ancient Apparition, matchup-wise, not going to fare too well up against that Brewmaster once the lanes start to dissolve. So they do need an answer for the Brew. Puck is a reasonable one to start out with. We'll see what they want to combo this up with. If they really want to put the screws to the Brew, who I assume is going to go towards offlane, and if you're paiN Gaming, then the heroes you're looking for, comboing with the Ancient Apparition, well, first of all, any 4 position, right? Like, pick up an Earth Spirit, make sure you get that kind of 1-2 punch going on with your AA. That's step 1. Step 2 is pick up perhaps a Sven, perhaps a CK. I don't know. Those heroes are really good up against Brewmaster, really good with Ancient Apparition, but also really bad versus Winter Wyvern. So there is a pretty significant cost there if you decide to go for one of those heroes. Otherwise, nailing your Brewmaster to the floor is usually pretty darn difficult. Just because if you leave him alone, if you don't have enough supports in the area, he'll just keep on blinding your carry, and then, he's not going to, like, win the lane. Well, he might win the lane, but he's not often going to win the lane, but he will just mess with your carry so much that it means that he's not winning the lane, but you're also not winning the lane. So the lane becomes a wash where no one's really having a great time, and that's really less than ideal. Ooh, we'll see if Medusa's actually going to get in the pool. Mentioned it in the last set twice. Medusa's never picked up in SA because she's always banned second phase. Actually, all the time. Luna and Tiny will be taken out. And Mad Kings, if they go for Brew and Medusa, that's such a clean combo. Like, you have the Brewmaster to kind of hold the fort down for the Medusa to get really strong. Once you turn on the Stone Gaze and turn on the Split, like, your team fight is just ironclad. You're not going to lose your Medusa then, unless she's, like, already really banged up. You're probably not going to lose your Brewmaster unless paiN are working with, like, the sickest of God Strength Sven. Like, you need that type of damage output. Will really put the pressure on to paiN Gaming to act fast or lose the game. Puck and AA aren't terrible early game, mid game heroes, but they're really not the type of heroes you want to have when you're facing up against Medusa and you don't have the late game superiority. Now they can answer this somewhat if there is going to be a Medusa, just by picking up those pretty classic mana burn heroes who haven't been banned out. Really, the only one who has been banned out is the Mixed Assassin, even then he's not really the best at it. Anti-Mage and Phantom Lancer, looking at those two as kind of counter picks should the need arise. But Mad Kings definitely have some options here. They already have their off lane secured up, and why is my computer suddenly whining so much? Hold on, let me, gotta be, can we get rid of this? Close this. I don't think we need this. My computer suddenly got really loud, guys, so I hope you can't, I hope you can't hear it. You might hear it a little bit in the background, but for the most part you shouldn't. Mad Kings decide to go in a different direction. Bounty Hunter is like the polar opposite hero to Medusa. Bounty Hunter wants to snowball, he wants to get the gold, he wants to just keep the game going. Medusa just wants to start playing the game at 40 minutes. Bounty Hunter does work pretty well with Brewmaster as well. And definitely for different reasons compared to that Medusa, but being able to just start those fights early on with the Brewmaster, get level 6 to hopefully get your Bounty Hunter involved in those kills as well to get him level 6, and maybe you got a stew going. paiN Gaming, though, they will go for Ogre Magi along with that Ancient Apparition. Pretty clean 1-2 punch. Lots of bullying power here, and looking at Bounty Hunter, like, you can't really trade hits with an Ogre Magi. You're not the worst at it for sure. Janata and the fact that Bounty Hunter has some pretty decent armor is not terrible, but Ogre is Ogre, so good luck doing that. Definitely not showing their cards just yet. They will have to go up against Medusa, but now it seems like a pretty good time to pick up an Anti-Mage. He's not going to have the best matchup against the Brewmaster. It is going to be that Haze, which is going to be really, really crippling, but you absolutely need to pick up that mana burn hero. Phantom Lancer is also not too bad. We've seen a couple PLs go towards the mid lane. I think, just off the top of my head, I've seen Abed do it perhaps the most. I don't know. With a Diffusal Blade, you can get a lot done, but, you know, AM is going to be the pick. And this is great for a couple reasons. You know, you're up against Medusa, you have Ogre Magi, but also HFN is like a god. So there's also that to consider as well. The only really bad side is that there's a Brewmaster here. And Anti-Mage, he can mess with the Brewmaster. Like, you could blink in, you can drain his mana. You don't really have enough damage until you get that level 6 for finishing blow, and even then, Mana Void nowadays is kind of bad. So the lane might not be quite great for the Anti-Mage as far as killing off the opposition, but I don't think Mad Kings have a setup here, an even possible setup, where they can pressure the Anti-Mage and prevent him from farming, and at the same time protect the Medusa. That's not in the cards. I think that's an impossibility, so something is going to have to give there. Mid lane for paiN, still looking for that one. Quap will be banned out. I wonder if Invoker is actually any good here. Invoker he's really weak up against Brewmaster because once the split happens, you can't do anything against him. If you try to Ghost Walk out, I don't think it can be expelled, but you can just get tornadoed or cycloned by the Brewmaster or pulled out of the Invis by the Winter Wyvern or the Bounty Hunter, but you will have the ability to get EMP, and that is so good versus Medusa if you can land it. I've definitely seen paiN run that before, but it is going to be a little bit of a cost. There are not many teams that play Invoker nowadays, which is sad. I mean, Invoker is definitely like a hero that, even though he may be super common, first pick all the time, you don't get tired of watching Invoker. You get tired of watching Medusa because she's always the same. You just go and split shot things, then you farm more, and then you split shot more things, then you farm more. But Invoker, yeah, there's a lot of farm component there for sure, but the ability to have those explosive plays, those flashy combos, I mean, the spell animations just look better. It's just so much more of an entertaining hero to watch. I expect this Puck to go towards the off lane. Bounty Hunter Wyvern don't have much game versus a Puck, and there aren't really many heroes that they can pick up last for Mad Kings to really seal the deal there and make sure the Puck doesn't have a game. So offlane Puck should be pretty safe here for paiN. Frees them up to pick up a mid lane hero. Expecting the matchup to be Medusa, they can try to greed out a little bit, picking up a melee hero, but yeah, you probably just want to set up for some kills. Not because it's easy to kill Medusa with any given mid lane hero, but it's very easy to get Ogre Magi and Ancient Apparition to do the heavy lifting. And once those heroes come in, then Medusa is going to be torched. Winter Wyvern could help out quite a bit versus the Medusa, but you know, I think if you embrace with Mana Shield, you don't lose mana unless you take like non-physical damage. I think that works.
Tidehunter.
That is different. That is not what I expected at all. This is paiN putting the pedal to the metal a little bit here. I mean, I mentioned how safe it would be for a puck. Similar things can be said about Tidehunter, although Winter Wyvern and that Arctic Burn do quite a bit of damage to the Tide.
10 seconds.
This is going to mean that the puck is going to take a farming role, and Tidehunter is going to give paiN a lot of early game team fight ability. Again, not the best hero matchup versus a Brewmaster in the context of those fights, and that's a Tinker for Mad Kings. Alright, we had a little bit of a curveball here, so the Tidehunter is going to be pretty difficult to deal with. I mean, that's just going to happen. But when you actually are ready to fight, with your 4 Protect 1 type of strat that paiN Gaming are clearly running now with their Anti-Mage, between the Coil and the Ravage, like just that sheer amount of burst damage, assuming the split hasn't come out already, it can destroy anybody. So that is paiN Gaming putting a lot of stock into HFN's Anti-Mage, which is always somewhat risky, but you know what? Anti-Mage is still he still just has the best matchups possible. He's up against Medusa. Anti-Mage with Bloodlust up against Medusa is aces. Also up against Tinker is not too bad either. He does have to worry about Laser. Laser's a pain in the ass. March of the Machines constantly pushing in is not something that Anti-Mage is really bothered by, simply because he will have a Battle Fear. He'll be able to cleave through them like nobody's business. But Tinker. Talking a lot about the Tide, let's go to the Tinker. Tinker is going to ensure late game dominance for Mad Kings. As great as Anti-Mage is, I don't think he can be everywhere enough. That being said, Tinker is also going to be playing a game where he doesn't really have a hero to buy space for him. Like usually when you pick up a Medusa, you want to have a little bit more of an early game-ish type of safe lane. A hero that is more willing to get involved. Oh, he drank a salve! Dude, that is not... Oh, the ping, I didn't even notice. Oh, that's so bad. That is so bad. Oh my god. Restart. We bugged out, guys. Something happened. There was a bug. We're gonna need a remake. Oh, that sucks. But yeah, Tinker and Medusa typically play the same role in that they're not gonna be looking for those fights. They just want to just sit back, get the farm up, get their core kit of items. Now Tinker gets his a little bit earlier than the Medusa. Travels, Blink, Soul Ring, you're done. You know, you get Kaya and whatever, Aghanim Scepter afterwards, but those are like extension, kind of luxury items. The question at that point is going to be, why do you have a Bounty Hunter, and who's going to hold down the fort in these fights? Now paiN, you know, the Anti-Mage is not going to be super eager to join those fights, but he will be able to maybe just Mana Void a Medusa, Mana Void a Tinker. And Tinker typically does have a pretty deep mana pool. Using that Mana Void just as a kind of flash in the pan spell can be quite high value, but everyone else from paiN, like, they are ready to go, man. Like, Tide, as soon as he hits level 6, Puck, same thing. They'll just be gunning for those kills. And Brewmaster, he is completely okay taking those engagements. He is where he wants to be. But I'm not really sure if this really late game draft for Mad Kings can leverage their Bounty Hunter enough to get them kind of safety. Like, if they're able to get a couple of track kills and maybe keep paiN Gaming scared from making aggressive plays, that's how they get the space. But that is so hard to do with a Tinker and a Medusa. Maybe Tinker is going to get a little bit more of a nuking build, but even then, you don't really want to be building a nuking build up against the Puck, simply because, yeah, you can land the laser. You can't really land the missile. That's just not a possibility. So, I do think paiN have a pretty nice advantage here. I think if they went for a non-Tinker last hero, then the Mad Kings would be in a really good spot. But, splitting the difference here between two super late gamers, or reasonable late gamers, and then having a Bounty Hunter who's just kind of here, doesn't seem the cleanest. But either way, let's take a look at who's going to be playing what. We got HFN on his Anti-Mage. I don't know if it's his favorite hero, but it is one of the heroes that he plays the best, that's for damn sure. We got Duster on the Ancient Apparition. We got The End is Near on the Ogre Magi. King RD is on the Puck, and that leaves Tavo on the Tide Hunter. StarLadder is going to lose his invis here up against Duster. This is a fight he is going to win, and they will push the Anti-Mage out as well. It's a 2-for-2 rune split still, so nothing too strange here. Just a good amount of harassment damage on this AA. On the Radiant side, StarLadder playing that Bounty Hunter. We got Shesed which I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name, but no one has told me differently yet, so I don't really know. Shesid is what I'm going to be calling him on the Winter Wyvern. Now, shoutouts to Mad Kings for picking up a Tinker for someone who's named RoboZ. Like, that's pretty sick. I got Dookie on the Medusa, who's going to go down towards the bottom lane, and I'm missing someone. I'm missing Nada, the legendary Terran. No, it's not him on the Brewmaster. You see, this is the bad part about this matchup for the Tidehunter. Burn does so much damage up against these high HP heroes, and Tide is definitely one of those heroes. HFN also has to deal with this haze. Already missed once. Anti-Mage, you're drunk. Go home. Oh, but he blinked for it and got the other one. That's how you CS, guys. CS, not lol. But, yeah, the Brewmaster, he is going to be able to mess with the Anti-Mage quite a bit. As far as killing him, that is a distant, distant dream. Killing the Brewmaster also is going to be pretty darn difficult. Tavo, in the meantime, is actually killable. Kind of sticking around at low HP, does have a Fairy Fire, is regenerating. He's level 1, so he can't get both Kraken Shell and Anchor Smash. We'll decide for Anchor Smash, but the Medusa still has full damage. Snake from a distance will get the kill. For Sladden, actually. Tavo just overplays his hand just a little bit too much. Big kills for this Bounty Hunter to be involved in. It is a split between 3 heroes, so experience-wise, it's not going to be just all good for him, but still, pushing for that level 6 as fast as possible, that's the dream, that's what you want to be doing. Speaking of the dream, King RD just got 3 free shots on the Tinker. He's going to get back to his creep wave as well. The thing is with Tide, it's okay if you die a couple times. Hell, even for the Brewmaster, like, even if they do die, it's not the end of the world. It's just the more important right-clicky cores that have to be concerned about. Tide is going to get the Anchor Smash again onto 2, but there's Splinter Blast here and Shuriken. Snake will grab the kill this time. Or the Medusa get her pretty nice mana refund. And we'll start beating down to the Brewmaster, but Chilling Touch, that's actually a full Chilling Touch on both these heroes. You can see, still not enough to kill off that Brew. Rework to the Chilling Touch, or the tweak to the Chilling Touch. Definitely not working for paiN Gaming there. The 2-0 for Mad Kings, but they still have to worry about these matchups. It's not about the lanes right now. I mean, if they break even in the lanes, they're happy, but they really need to find some way of getting something done in the mid-game. I'm not entirely sure what that is going to be, especially if RoboZ is going to die here. Orb will clip him. Fire Blast is there. Laser will stop one hero from attacking, but already Puck got so many right clicks off. They're just going to run with him. He is going to salve up in the trees. We saw what happened last time. In the last game this happened. Someone might die from the Radiant here, but already they get the kill on the Tinker, and already it's a pretty big win. The end is near, is going to go down here, unfortunately, but still a 1-for-1 trade. They are more than happy to make that exchange as paiN. They will just be getting away with that. Sladden also was not involved there, so no experience going for that Bounty Hunter. Definitely a nice little trade there. Slowing down either the Tinker or Medusa is going to be absolutely premium here for paiN Gaming. Dude, how do you get hit by a Shuriken like that, King RD? Come on. How does that even happen? He'll survive. Kind of banged up, but he'll live. Oh, I was going to say it's easy to kill a Tinker. It's not easy to kill the Medusa. They're going to give it a little bit of an attempt here. Snake will not hit onto the Tidehunter, so he still has some mana to work with. It did deplete a lot of Dookie's mana, but at the same time, that's a pretty close to full wand there from the Medusa, so big mana refunds there. Yeah, I'm not really sure if they have enough aggressive power in this particular game to go for both Tinker and Medusa. Slowing or stopping one of them is going to be all they can really hope to do at any reasonable rate. So Mad Kings have a 2-kill lead. HFN still having a time of his life in that top lane, although Nada and Sladden are after Duster. Does Jack the Bounty Rune is going to try to TP out, but there's a Shuriken to cancel. You're dead. Another kill for this Bounty Hunter to be involved in. Again, it's not really a ton of experience, but it's sure as hell a lot better than just sitting around and doing nothing, not getting kills, and just looking at a puck in mid. Brew as well. 15 CS, 12 CS, that's not... those are numbers right there. 12 CS, 13 CS for the Brood. A reasonable amount for him, given the situation. He's going to run low on mana. Oh, King RD is going to orb out. He'll be fine. He's a couple more bottle charges. Here comes the end is near. The end might be near here for the Bounty Hunter. Dust was applied to him. King RD has another orb through, which will miss, but the end is near just beating the hell out of Slime. Doesn't even need the puck's help. Me Ogre, me Smart, me get kill with Punch. Yeah, that's sometimes all you need. So, yeah, the Ogre getting the kill on the Bounty Hunter, certainly very nice, but you know, it's kind of paling into comparison with what the Bounty Hunter is getting done. with his rotations. Speaking of, Tavo, still at half HP. Level 2 Anchor Smashes here. They will have another burn. He's going to try TP up once again. Shuriken will cancel. Tavo is dead. The third time in 5 minutes. These kills are going to start racking up, but same time, Nada is going to be dying on top lane. Finally, the Radiant, or the Dire side rather, get their safe lanes hands a little bloody, and HFN needs to push towards that Battle Fury. Timing-wise, I mean, obviously it's going to be great for both Medusa and Anti-Mage to get more farm, but the Anti-Mage uses this farm a little bit earlier than the Medusa. You get Battle Fury and Anti-Mage, and you are going to be all over the place. For Medusa, you can get Mask of Madness, and that's not bad. But really, she needs a couple more items before she's fully 100% activated, so timing-wise, it's slightly better for paiN to be getting these kills. Again, it doesn't seem like they're in a huge position to really abuse that, but just something that happens. May get the Anti-Mage a little bit of extra kills from time to time.
Radiant's top tower is under
There's
attack.
now a coil on the puck. RoboZ does have laser. There is no longer a coil on puck. Well, yeah, that did just happen. Luckily for puck, coil is not the longest cooldown in the world. There was a Winter Wyvern behind them, plus they would have to fight into a March of the Machines as well. Don't really want to mess with that, so maybe it's good that they didn't go for that. But in the meantime, is going to jack some of Tavo's creeps. Feels bad, man. Not much you can do as Tide, though, except for use Anchor Smash to last hit.
Dire are scanning.
They do scan red. They do dust, and it does catch him, but they don't have the
Radiant's top
regular
tower
vision
is under
to
attack.
see the dusted bounty hunter. Ogre's trying. Oh, he's trying. We'll fall short, though. Freaking dodgeball in the mid lane. Puck is launching all the spells. Not quite able to catch him out, though. In the meantime, Sladden's going to get a pretty nice wraparound as King RD really wants this kill on Robo, but Robo's backing off pretty far, and they will see King RD. I don't think they can really get anything done here. Does use Phase Shift, so this Shuriken and Splinter Blast will now all hit. He does have a raindrop, though. And he will survive. Robo is not feeling too comfortable in this lane, but he's surviving. He's not winning this lane again, but still, it's better than the alternative. Oh, King RD. Don't die to wolves. That would be embarrassing.
Dire's top
Got
tower is under
HFN.
attack.
Still with that Perseverance. Battle Fury en route. The Brewmaster, though, he's level 6. Now is about the time where, unless you're getting a ton out of your lane, you want to move out, look to get a kill on someone else. Could be a kill onto Duster, who is going to wander into the wrong neighborhood. They probably don't even need to split for this. They just cancel the first crit, but it's still there. Bam! And one more. Got him. So Nada gets a free kill on the support. Split up against Anti-Mage is pretty weak. You won't really be able to kill him ever. But for sure, if you're able to maybe go on to Tide Hunter a little with those Brewlings, you can get something done. Sladden, stalking the end is near. We got King RD coming around from the backside. Jessid is going to be here as well. King RD does have a lot of help here, and a Haste Rune. They're going to try to just gun down the Tinker, but he's going to go down at the cost of the Ogre Magi and Duster both. As Nada also is going to show up, still without the need of split. Orb through for King RD, and he will be just fine. Again, Haste Rune doing all the work for him. That type of engagement, though, what they just went for, that is exactly the type of fight where you really, really want to Tide Hunter Ravage. Unfortunately, timing just not working quite well enough for him at this stage, so paiN Gaming are going to be looking for very similar plays in the next couple of minutes. Like, obviously with the Ravage whenever they have it. But that's how they win this game. Just by going in, cheesing out a couple kills, get a Tinker here, a Tinker there, and just get the Anti-Mage as much space as possible. No one's really going to be able to apply pressure to this Anti-Mage, so HFN should have like the most free game of all time. You can push out a split from the Brewmaster, and they're not going to be able to, but be able to bring that out without losing anyone, it's a big, big win for paiN. Mad Kings, though, they just have to make sure to not lose engagements, keep on farming. Travels, Tinker is now going to start building in towards them. Medusa, Mask of Madness is, I assume, almost completed. Yeah, that's a quarterstaff on the courier, so Mask of Madness is almost done.
Tower is under attack.
Farm-wise, right behind the Anti-Mage, pretty much where she wants to be. This is still going pretty well for Mad Kings, but this is also just not the power curve that paiN Gaming are at their strongest right now. Like, they are going to be really strong in 10 minutes. Tavo, oh, careful there, bud. Yeah, so this is still 10 minutes of kind of free time here for Mad Kings. After that period of time, though, then things get really, really sticky. Sladden, 5, is actually doing a pretty good job leveling.
Dire's bottom
Puck
tower
is going to
under
grab
attack.
the regeneration rune. Should be fine, though. Has an orb out. Coil's going to try to just gun down Chesed. Going to jump away from the bounty hunter, pop that regen, and no more dots on him from the burn. Is going to be able to get quite a bit of regen. It's slow. He might be able to snipe Chesed here. Orb, if it hits, will get the kill. No, it doesn't hit. He jumps in too early. But he should still be able to get the kill because there's no embrace. And he actually still has the regen rune on him. So King RD gets back up to full mana. Has an orb out if he needs to. We'll be just fine. In fact, we'll CS with it. That's efficiency right there. Defend is stacked clear. Sladden is going to steal some of this experience. There's a sentience to be placed. It's right out of range. He mana voids. Got the centaur, I guess. HFN's going to get tagged with a decent amount of burst damage, but laser was on cooldown. Tinker's battling capabilities are very limited at this stage. They'll still apply as much pressure as they can to HFN without actually killing him. Something to be said for that for sure.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Battle Fury, though, is right around the corner. Tavo does have that Ravage, so he's going to look to use that soon enough. Maybe onto Dookie right now. There is some backup here in the Ogre Magi. Anti-Mage going to arrive as well. Has max out Mana Break. They do land a Fire Blast. And the Ignite. He is deep in the trees. Mana Shield, though, is now depleted. There is a Ravage here. If they need it, they're just going to settle for the Gush. There is no Mana Void. Now, here comes the Ravage. We'll land on 2, though they only see 1 of them. Dookie is just refusing to go down, though. This Medusa doesn't have any mana, but still his Mana Shield is doing work. Gets clubbed in the face. Finally, they place up the Ogre Magi. Mana Break does not apply, as you can see. And he will blink away to split the blast on the Tavo. The Engineer is going to get isolated and dropped for sure. Is that track? Will almost be tracked. Should be tracked right about now. But they bring in the Anti-Mage. It's slow. It's excruciatingly painful. But they get a kill on the Medusa with the Anti-Mage. And that alone is good, but that kill gets HFN this Battle Fury, so he's going to skyrocket his farm. If ever you get your core involved to kill off the enemy's core in this type of scenario, you are doing a very, very good job. And obviously the same cannot be done on the other end. Like, Medusa will never be able to kill Anti-Mage at this stage in the game, which is the Mask of Madness. The matchup is just too bad for her. So HFN is going to start bouncing through the waves as per normal. Doogie's still making his home in this bottom lane. Not really much else he can do. We do have Nada with a Blink Dagger. Wow. This is an incredibly farmed Brewmaster, given the lane stage. So Blink into Split. Again, it's a great way of getting into the middle of the fight, but looking at Puck, looking at Anti-Mage, really, really have to be careful with when you actually make that play. Otherwise, you may just overcommit and just won't be able to get those kills with the Split. Here he's going to be caught with the track, takes a little bit of damage here and there, but he's a difficult hero to kill. Even if you Blink Clap him, like, he'll just Orb Phase and you'll have to go on a really long chase. They can kill the Puck if they decide to engage on him, I think. They don't exactly know where everyone else is. You gotta assume that Anti-Mage is nearby in the jungle. King RD now is in Shrine up. Back to full HP. Probably get back to the lane also. Oh, but gives the CS to Sladden. Easy CS. King RD, missiles coming in, will land. He is unable to silence up Nada. Has another orb out and a phase shift. He will dodge the Shuriken. And now the chase is on. Where's the help? They really, really need, like, everyone to come in right now. King RD's going to dodge yet another stun, but now it's put into a corner. He's just trying to buy time right now, but he is going to die. Sladden Ice Blast is going to chill him, and he will die as well. But the Ogre's going to come in onto the Brewmaster. In the meantime, the backside, TP out from Chesed. Mana Void will cancel a TP and get the kill. And now jumping forward, looking for Nada. Has a Blink Dagger, but there is HFN right on his tail. No Blinks available. Fire Blasted and dead. Is that worth it for the Puck, losing 3 heroes like that? No, it's definitely not. So paiN, actually a little bit surprised that the Puck lived as long as he did. Thought he would be brought down a little bit faster than that, but HFN, being the classic slippery hero, is going to stay slippery with this item build. The classic 4 Blink Dagger Puck build. Love it. And HFN not only coming in, getting some kills, but again, getting kills, getting involved, whereas the Medusa is just farming. Net worth, still, they are going to be fairly comparable, but HFN is just able to do a little bit more because this is the impact of that timing thing I was talking about earlier. Anti-Mage can use his items a little bit earlier than the Medusa can, and sometimes it just makes a difference. Mass DP is coming in mid as Sladden's going to stumble into the wrong neighborhood. Ice Blast coming in, they do coil up 2 in the background. Ice Blast will miss on the Sladden, just fast enough to get out of that range. And forward from the Brewmaster. Does not have a split. Pretty bold move as Orb flies through. Only connects onto the Medusa, though. They will try to pick off the Ogre Magic with the missile. Will fall short as Ravage comes in onto 3 heroes. Mana Void as well. Will land onto Dookie, doing a lot of damage to both him and Nada. He'll curse on the Tidehunter once again. His allies will kill him off. Just barely. It's going to be a 1-for-2 exchange. Tinker, though, doing some pretty significant damage in the background. Does have the Travels and Soul Ring up with the Blink Dagger halfway done. These fights are the fights that paiN really need to win convincingly. That was a good exchange for them. I mean, they did get quite a bit of gold. But at the same time, you're facing up against Track, a late game Medusa, and a Tinker. You need to get a lot done. Basically, Anti-Mage, he's going to go Command Style because that's how you play Anti-Mage. Really good against Track, I suppose. Pretty darn good against Brewmaster as well. He'll take like another large leap in power once he picks up, whatchamacallit, a Basher. Like some way for him to solo kill a Tinker. That's going to be not for a while, but that is going to be like another huge power curve that paiN Gaming can hit to try to smooth over any losses that they may hit right now. As for Mad Kings, they just have to make sure to kind of avoid fights like that. Get the Medusa still farming, try to get her to survive. Not the easiest thing to do in the world, but we can see she is bulking up. Slowly but surely pushing that level 20 mark. We'll find Duster on the top lane. Yeah, 800 mana, man. That's something the Anti-Mage can deal with pretty quickly. But it is going to be slowly pushed towards. Honestly, I think Mad Kings are in a pretty good spot here. And paiN Gaming still have a lot of Ravages, a lot of coils yet to drop. If they win just a handful of team fights, then they can start really applying the pressure. But so far, all towers on Mad Kings are still alive. They've absorbed 2 Ravages with honestly minimal losses. And yeah, the Anti-Mage is going to be a problem moving forward. But up against that haze from the Brewmaster and the Tinker, you either need a BKB or an MKB on the Anti-Mage if you're actually going to convincingly answer that Dookie. He's going to get a little bit isolated. They decide not to orb him there, even though HFN's right around the corner. Tinker's going to teleport in as well, and HFN will bounce out. Right back to farming. Honestly, every single time there's a rotation from any given hero that doesn't result in the kill for paiN Gaming, that is a big win for Mad Kings, because they don't really want to be looking for fights. They just want to chill. They just want to farm. Though Tavo is looking to farm as well. Hand of Vitus. Does he have a Hood coming out to him? Yeah, he's going for Hood, which is really good this game into the Hand of Vitus. Don't mind that. But he has another Ravage up soon. And by soon, I mean now. It's up for now. What? Why is there lag? No, there's no lag. There's no lag, guys. I think I dropped some frames, but it's not the end of the world. You'll survive. Back Duster. Oh, gets nailed to the floor. Ice Blast does land on the Bounty Hunter. Coil coming in onto Robo Z. They have a Ravage, and it won't be castable because of the curse. Again, Chesed is there. He's been landing some really nice curses, and it will be 1-for-1 trade, but that's a track kill in favor of Mad Kings. They're able to escape with the Tinker from what otherwise would have been for sure death. Big exchange there. Oh, Robo Z snipes the Ogre with the missiles. Did not expect that to happen. My bad, guys. Dookie does have the Hurricane Pike as well. Again, even though this matchup, Medusa versus AM, is really sour for the Medusa, AM really doesn't have the stopping power in order to sit and hit the Medusa a lot up against this item, unless they deplete her entire mana pool, which they will, with the stun duration of a single Ravage. Totally worth it. And meantime, King RD kills another. Jump in on Duster. Nada may or may not get this kill. He will commit the split for it, though. Already, I'm not sure if that's worth it in the end to fight afterwards. HFN is still here, and he's still kicking. They're going to try to use this Demolish on the Earth aspect. Wind is going to back off. Try to come right back in. There's a Blink Dagger here on the Brewmaster, but there's so many heroes here. I'm not sure if he can actually blink away. No, immediately silenced and stunned, and, well, not quite killed off immediately, but still will die. Man, I did not expect them to be able to kill off Medusa in the duration of a Ravage. That stun duration is like 2 seconds? Yeah, 2.4 seconds. Yet, still, enough for HFN to jump in, and with, I guess, those 3 illusions just cleaving through with that mana break adds up incredibly quickly. Okay. I underestimated HFN's Anti-Mage. I know I've done that in the past. I'll try not to make a mistake again. Those are the type of plays they need. Those are exactly the team fights that paiN need. Every single time there's a Ravage up, they need to do exactly that. I'm not really sure what the Winter Wyvern did, but just got blown up by the puck elsewhere. The Embrace is great, but Puck has a lot of magic damage at this point. Even more with the Spell Amp talent. So Mad Kings, they're kind of expected to lose a couple of these fights. I mean, even if paiN, let's say they find 3k gold on the floor. Oh, Courier sniped out. Let's say they find 3k gold on the floor. paiN Gaming, even if they start pushing all these towers, I'm not really sure if they can actually get into a point where paiN can win the game easily. Like, you're going up high ground up against Medusa, up against Winter Wyvern and Tinker. Those are like impossible heroes to push against. Maybe once the Tide picks up his pipe, and he actually will go for that item. Open-handed Midas, it looks like he considered the Midas. It's all about catching that Tinker. And this is another kind of mixed aspect of this Puck's build. Be able to catch Tinker out with that Yule Scepter and probably kill off the Tinker also, if the Puck does find him with the Veil.
Dire's top tower is under
I am talking about paiN Gaming, what they have to do a lot, and not as much for Mad Kings. I don't have any bias here, guys. It's simply because paiN Gaming have to try a little bit harder to win this game. Whereas Mad Kings, they don't have to do that. They just sit back and do whatever they want. King RD is going to find a Bounty Hunter, coil him up, and start right-clicking in, sliding. We'll get a track out, but we'll go down Duster. Ice Blast will apply the chill effect to that Brewmaster. Now here comes the split. But he is so surrounded. Earth and Fire will both fall. Here comes the Stone Gaze. Everyone is just going to be able to back off. Except the Animate actually gets petrified really quickly. How did that happen? He just didn't turn around in time? That didn't seem right. Curse in the meantime will keep Jessup safe from the Puck. They'll isolate Tavo, get the kill with the missiles. King RD is still tracked up. Will dodge some missiles of his own. Yule Scepter onto the Tinker. Anti-Mage not here, so they don't have any damage. And King RD will probably survive this. But Robo-Z, low on mana. I don't think he can chase here. Maybe they can. He has another phase shift, so missiles aren't going to work. Now looking for the end is near, which might just be for this Ogre Magi. Get big crit to the back and will fall. How the hell do you get petrified there as the Anti-Mage? I don't understand how that happens. Like, as soon as the Medusa comes in, you just turn your tail and run. That's the only way Anti-Mage dies, because, like, it's, like, he has to be petrified if he's going to die. Or sheep stick by the Tinker, and he doesn't have it, so it's not happening. The only way I actually see him getting petrified realistically is if he gets cursed into attacking his allies. In the meantime, the Stone Gaze timer is like, he's looking at the Medusa while he's attacking his allies, and then he gets petrified from that, but that seemed like a very avoidable death there from the Anti-Mage. He's going to go for a Butterfly. Again, this chance is going to be a pain and a half for the Anti-Mage to deal with. You can buff out the laser once with the Manta Style, but the next laser and the next Drunken Haze, you need an answer to that. And Bloodthorn's okay, I guess, on Anti-Mage. It's actually pretty darn good up against Tinker and Brewmaster, but it does seem like MKB is probably just a little bit better. We'll go straight into the Roche Pit. Looks like Mad Kings are gonna have to let this happen. No split means no fight. We would be fighting into a Ravage if that were the case. Just them with Bloodlust. Serious deeps. Robo-Z, though, bouncing every which way. Split push from the Tinker in full effect. Naturally, this is going to mean that the Medusa has a little less space, so she's going to jump right in. Ice Blast, a little bit too short there from Duster. Doesn't hit a single hero. They will pipe out and try to run Tavo. Going to start thinking about going back in, but they've already lost their AA. They've already lost, essentially, their Ogre Magi. Orb will come through on the Puck. They will try to go for Slatin in the end, but the Cyclone is there to keep HFN at bay. And they'll also find a third in Tavo. Tinker relentless here. HFN can do absolutely nothing. Now, they do take the Roshan and the Aegis. But still, that is another big win for Mad Kings. Crashing in. If Tidehunter had a Blink Dagger or Force Staff, that could have been a fight that was salvageable by paiN, but he doesn't. Like, once he's out of the fight, he's out. Like, the Medusa charging the front lines like that is usually pretty risky, unless you have the Stone Gaze already active. If you have Stone Gaze active, you are 100% completely safe. Now, speaking of MKB, like, you need to counter that Medusa's evasion as well, so Anti-Mage needs to get that True Strike up, and we'll be going for it next. Again, guys, you look at these two teams, Mad Kings versus paiN. everyone would be like, oh, easy paiN 2-0.
Attack.
Dude, Mad Kings have some serious players on the team. Like, they're doing really well in this game. Oh, dude. Did he really just snap the coil with the Force Staff? That is not the play. That is certainly not the play. There's Curse with the Blink Dagger, Chesed. Anti-Mage does do a lot of damage, but most of his damage is through Mana Break still and his illusions. Gotta make sure you time that Curse properly. Otherwise, if you do land the Curse on like Puck, catch Anti-Mage with it, I'm pretty sure AM kills his Puck. I'm pretty sure that happens. Whoa, he's going in deep. Okay, he does have the Aegis. He does have backup, smoked up, coming in, so he could probably get away with this as the Anti-Mage. What does Medusa have? Butterfly, Master Madness assembled, Tinker, Ags, and Kaya. Oh, Juki's in the front line, and he's going to get ravaged, and he is going to get dropped pretty quickly, although Stone Gaze is going to land. Anti-Mage is petrified, but he does have the Aegis this time, so it's not that big of a deal. He'll pop Doogie with the Void, gets cursed up, but Puck doesn't do that much damage to the AM, so that's not really a terribly huge deal. In the meantime, they're just wasting the timer of this Brewmaster. Cleave through from HFN is doing a lot of damage to all these aspects, but the Earth, he's fine. Can't really easily slow him down, but they will still just beat him to hell. Physical damage from an Anchor Smash will kill off Brewmaster in split form. And oh, look at that. Play well, get rewarded. They find a regen rune on the ground. Sometimes lucky. Not sure why Medusa was that far in. Again, Medusa being in the front is bad unless she has Stone Gaze turned on. That Petrify worked really quickly up against that Anti-Mage. It doesn't seem right. Like, that math just doesn't work out in my head, but it's working out for whatever reason. That's Brew down, that's Medusa down, perhaps more importantly, that's the Split down. Unable to get their claws into the Tinker, but still able to close the map in a little bit more, and every single time you take down a tower, that's a little bit less safe space for the Tinker and the Medusa to get that farm.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
'Tis mine.
And is near.
Radiant's top
I
tower
should be thinking about a
is under
cloak.
attack.
He's gonna die to missiles. Not really, but he's gonna take a lot of damage from missiles. AM is long gone. They're playing the Wild Goose Chase. I'll have to play the Wild Goose Chase versus the Tinker as well. Gotta start seeing these cliff wards. Gotta catch up to RoboZ. This dude is doing some serious work, but at the same time, HFN, you can see skyrocketing to the top of the net worth chart. 514 will do that for you. Level 25 talent. How good is Spell Shield here? It's okay. How good is Mana Void cooldown? It's probably not that great. Tavo will be found here. Wow, dropped a couple of his items for efficiency. Could have been really bad. Still pipe up, but there's a lot of damage here from Medusa. Now tracked. It'll actually be cracked and shelled off. Slow from the haze. Missiles will come in, and we'll just get the kill. High Hunter with no Ravage, though, is not really a useful hero here for paiN. They don't really commit anything for it. Sladden. He's going to be wandering in pretty far. Sees the Anti-Mage. Luckily for him, Anti-Mage doesn't see the Bounty Hunter back. DD, Anti-Mage who just picks up MKB, that's not fun times. This game is still incredibly close. It's all about who gets a little more careless. Who gets picked off. Does the Anti-Mage get petrified? Oh no, this is not what you want. Tinker. Oh, what did I just say? I said it's all about who gets picked off. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good to pick off a Tinker like that for free.
Radiant's
Let's get those cliff wards going. You
attack.
can actually have a chance killing off that Tinker. Once you get that, the high ground defense of Mad King is still pretty substantial, but
Radiant's bottom
not
tower
nearly as
has
strong.
fallen.
HFN is dishing some serious damage right now. MKB has this, it's called Pierce apparently. A chance to do a little bit extra damage. I don't think it'll proc on allies. Because, like, I think passives are just kind of muted for allies, but not entirely 100% sure on that. If you get hit with a Winter's Curse. Ooh, HFN with some blind dust. Snag the tower. His backup is very far away, but he knows he's very difficult to kill. There's now a Ravage out. paiN are looking for a death blow here. Maybe not like death, but you know, getting to a position where they can very easily lock down the rest of the game. It is going to be probably based off this next Roche. 2 minutes till the cooldown is revealed to us. In that time, Guardian Greaves will whip on the Tidehunter. Nice item to have up against all this kind of spread damage on the Mad King. Doesn't really do anything super useful as far as getting rid of effects on him, like purging himself. Just generally giving his allies a lot of strong abilities. It's going to be really nice for Tavo. RD jumps in, uses magic weakness, because that's the most creative spell name in Dota. Hey, this item makes enemies weak to magic. What do we call it? Well, do I have a spell name for you? StarLadder's just all over the place. He's looking to snipe couriers. Did see a courier return to the base because of these really deep obs. Don't really think he could do much else though. I mean, maybe he can cut a wave a little bit, just stall it. Doesn't have any real damage to kill the creep wave though. He's just waiting for the... Is he going to try? He's going to do what he can. Again, it's really not going to be all that fast. In the meantime, we're going to weakness Nada. A little damage here. StarLadder just picks off a range creep. Not really sure if we could even call that cutting the wave. That's not quite what it is.
Radiant's top tower
He's just looking for couriers. In the meantime, though, the attempted death blow is coming. paiN Gaming are in a decent spot for this simply because they have Ravage and a fresh part from HFN. Tavo, he has a 4-staff on an ally, but he doesn't have any way of getting himself in very easily. So using that Ravage well is going to be a little bit of difficulty here. Jessid looking for someone to curse up. Won't quite find it. The spread on paiN Gaming is fully revealed thanks to these tracks, but still, it's not that easy to find a curse when you're that far out of the base. No sense going out the base that far when you just defend the high ground. A little bit. Oh, that was not chip damage on the tower. That was a lot of damage. HFN will jump right back in, seal the deal on the tower. I think start looking for the shrines. StarLadder almost gets 100 deal. Oh, 4-staff mid coil. He's gonna get dropped, and not as well will fall. Dookie is gonna petrify the anti-mage once again. How does he keep getting caught by this? He'll Manslap split out and blink out. Dookie's ultimate now is down, and everyone from paiN is still alive. Duster wants back in. He froze the Medusa, that's why, but the anti-mage needs a couple seconds here. Needs a breather for that heart. I think HFN needs to turn up his sound. Maybe that's it. Like, it's a really subtle visual effect. It's a really loud sound though. You gotta be able to turn away from that petrification. It's still down though. The Brewmaster's down for 40. The anti-mage is at full HP thanks to that heart. Tinker is still firing off on all cylinders, quite literally. Missiles absolutely freaking everywhere thanks to that Aghanim Scepter. An Insight Aura is great from Tavo, but he is very weak with no Ravage. Anti-mage in the meantime gets cursed up. A little bit of damage applied to him thanks to his illusions, but HFN still be able to blink out of there cleanly after having taken down that tower. Couple missiles flying in towards him. StarLadder is trying to pick a fight here. HFN another blink out though, and constantly disjointing the missiles. In the meantime, the rest of the team slowly but surely taking down the melee racks. Tavo will fall. Kind of suiciding for those racks, but for sure worth it. Is near. We'll get focused next. Missiles, lasers, every which way. He'll try to teleport out, and it looks like he'll go down. Duster as well, not looking too hot, but in the meantime, bottom lane, top 5. We got HFN right back into it with the melee racks. Winter Wyvern already used her only means of stopping this push. Laser is there. The anti-mage will have to back off now. A couple missiles will follow him, but part of Tarask doing overtime work with this regen. Now sometimes the regen on hard Tarask is just a non-factor. This is not one of those times. That is 2 melee racks down. And now the paiN Gaming lead extends to 9k. This is all pretty much within the context of avoiding fights. Like, there have not really been that many fights in this game for paiN Gaming to win. They're gonna look for Nada. Mana now doesn't have any more. Mana Void, oh, killed off mid-cast. That is a dead brew for 70. Does have a buyback though. Medusa is also going to show her face. What's the Tidehunter ultimate looking like? For the 10 seconds. Again, this is paiN's death blow. It's 2 melee racks. And again, it's not like a death blow. It's just we're going to make a big play to try to get into winning position. And oh, there goes Jessid. No more Winter's Curse here. HFN is going to feel pretty free to clean out this top lane. Blink away, easy peasy. Robo absolutely needs this sheep stick, but not really sure if that's going to do it. Look at this, AC for the anti-mage.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
Dude is doing some serious damage. He's almost done with his farming though. Like he's pretty well topped out. Maybe it's just Moon Shard.
Top shrine has fallen.
It's really good for paiN Gaming that they're getting this much done with this top out information because he's not going to get that much stronger. He will get a little bit stronger now though. Aegis, most likely. Perhaps Cheese. Either one is pretty good. He'll drop the boots actually. Has the flutter. 421 movement speed without the boots thanks to all this agility. Do you see how much agility movement speed? 9.9%. That's a decent amount. I wish it would tell me exactly how much movement speed that is instead of the percentage, but dude's got some wheels on, especially when he has the flutter active. Plus he has blink, which is, you know, absolutely massive range, so who needs to walk when you have a permanent blink up? Plus bloodlust. Don't forget about bloodlust. Alright, Mad Kings. High ground defense challenge mode. Tinker has to keep his distances. If he gets caught with the Ravage, it's just all over. Or at least buyback can be forced out. HFN with this double life. Where did the cheese end up? It's on the Ogre Magi. Pretty sure he's not going to eat it. Kill Robo. I think Tavo can really do much to kill off Robo there. Just gonna make sure his split push doesn't get completely out of control. There's an Orchid on the Medusa. Soul Burn on the Anti-Mage can do a lot of work, but up against Manta Style, it's not really gonna be the end all here. King RD once again looking for a snipe. Finds Robo. Z will lift him out. Oh, the Ice Blast coming in. HFN will put him in the grave. 70 seconds. Buyback most likely will have to be used here. So do curse up the puck. Only a couple of kind of supports just wailing on him will survive. And there is the Tinker back from the dead. HFN is already going to get to work on the tower. Split is out and Tavo's going to get driven away. Guardian Greaves though is going to be really powerful here as the Broodlings don't do a lot of damage. HFN now is going to blink off to the side. They lift up the Medusa once again, trying to get rid of that Stone Gaze. Dagger goes towards the Bounty Hunter. The Puck is going to be very elusive. This Tinker's not doing a lot of damage versus the heroes that matter because Puck and Anti-Mage are just dodging everything. HFN's going to jump right back in, try to go for the rest of the racks. Probably should just back up and wait for a little bit of extra regen, but in the meantime, Duster and the end is near are going to get picked off, but it's a small price to pay as King RD is still just playing games with the Radiant in their own base. Where's this Anti-Mage? He actually backed off a little bit to get that heart regen back up. King RD is not something that they can actually challenge. Even with Robo Z in melee range, he doesn't have the Sheep Stick. He's not going to get the Sheep Stick either if he has to keep spending his money on just survival. Oh, too far from Nada. HFN not even going to get the kill. It's Tavo's Anchor Smash that gets it. And by Anchor Smash, I mean right clicks. Yeah. This is one range racks away from Megas. HFN's still at pretty much full HP, and despite so many salvos of missiles, despite March and Bouncing Laser, not enough answers for HFN. He's going to look for Dookie now. He's out of mana, but he has a double life, so he doesn't really care. That was a no Ravage fight as well. Here comes the Ravage soon. No? There's no Anti-Mage, so there's no point in Ravaging Tavo. Don't do it. I know you want to, but don't do it. Oh, Duster, don't die to this either. Oh, missiles. Run. Oh, there's barrier. Got him. There's so many missiles, but it just doesn't seem like it's doing enough damage versus the heroes that matter. Of course, Anti-Mage has how much? 66% magic to this. I think that's in total. Missiles without nothing. Laser does a lot. That's pure, but man, that's got 2.7k HP. That's Megas now up. So now here comes the problematic part for the Mad King side. They won't die to Megas, but how do they get back into a winning position? I feel like this is not the item. You guys all know what the item has to be at this stage. They absolutely need Divine Rapier and Sheep Stick. If they're able to get those two up, then they still can win this game. But that is not a Divine Rapier. This is actually not bad. Sheep Stick and using the Bloodthorn, Soul Burn on the Anti-Mage, that can still kill him off. He did end up losing that Aegis as well. So they can still do this. It's just really difficult because the paiN side are just going to be playing around their Ravage. It's like right this, just blink Ravage Dookie, just nail him to the floor first thing. Lose the Medusa, or lose the Tinker, and you lose the game. So when a Tidehunter can YOLO Ravage in like that, it's just such a bad place to be. They will smoke out. Sladden is just on the edge. revealing him. Oh, don't go down there, Bounty Hunter. Don't go down there. He sees Chesed. Jump in. King RD is going to look to snipe him. There is an embrace, but the ice is coming in from the AA, and they'll jump in onto Nada as well. He will get the split out. HFN is kind of isolated. Is now hit with Soul Burn. Force Staff out. Ravage is going to give him a little bit more cover, but it's not really going to be followed up with anything, as Pablo's actually going to petrify himself. Does the Guardian Grief get a little bit extra regen here. Hype Aura as well. Jump in back from the puck. Trying to drive away that Tinker. Pablo's still not dead, although will finally go down as the Ravage expend. Or just a buyback on Chesed. They need a little bit more than that. Anti-Mage is getting a lot of regen in the background. We'll jump in for slide in and dagging him down. Burst goes off onto the puck. Should be dying to the Anti-Mage. And will do just that, but Chesed's got a little bit of trouble. Oh, here comes more ice. The Mana Void does a lot, but HFN, once again, is overcommitted. He has to back off. Let that heart regen do its job. Duster will die to the split shot, as will the Ogre Magi. HFN will blink away from the rest of the missiles. You gotta be careful as Tinker not to chase too far here. We'll deactivate the regen, but HFN is free and clear. And that is a little bit of a questionable commitment there from paiN. Jumping in on a Winter Wyvern like that, you gotta make sure your Tidehunter lands a Ravage onto either Medusa or the Tinker. And I would say Anti-Mage going for the Brewmaster like that, it's not really gonna happen. Like, the dude has a Sheep Stick actually, so he has a lot of intelligence, a lot of mana to burn through. If the Anti-Mage had a Basher, you might be able to do that. Just kill him off in the duration of the stun duration. But he doesn't, obviously. Jeez, this is a lot of attack speed. So the Ancient is exposed. But paiN Gaming haven't won yet. Actually ditched his Battle Fury entirely, so HFN going for pure single target focus. I think with Mega Creeps on his side, this is the correct decision. I mean, Cleave is always going to be great, but when your Mega Creeps are getting all the CS, there's not much room left for you, right? HFN is just bouncing all over the place. Sladden will TP out as a gem. I don't want to give that over at this point. There is still quite a bit of Radiant Vision up. They're just waiting and waiting. As Roche will be respawning in minimum a minute. And once that comes up, that's going to be Roche number 3. I've heard good things about Double Ravage. Pretty good. Pretty good. Even throwing out a Ravage that has no follow-up like last time. Doesn't really matter when you can check out another. Alright, this is going to be pretty important timing here. If they're able to pick it up right now, then paiN Gaming can look for the literal death blow, as in, we're going to win the game with this push. They might look for it either way. Still looking to cheese out some heroes here. Mad King's side are pretty well defensively positioned. Don't give up, that's right. You can still win this, Mad Kings. Your Medusa just needs, oh, a very specific item. This is it, that's it. That's how you win this game. Kill off the Anti-Mage with your Doctor. You're good to go. What is that? Oh, that is a very long respawn. That kind of sucks for paiN. Because in this time, they're not really farming. Granted, Mad Kings aren't getting a ton of gold either, but Anti-Mage is topped out, so like he can't farm anymore. I guess they just kill neutrals? But that's just so slow at this stage. Maybe they'll be able to pick off Sladden if they have any Wandering True Sight, but it's only... Their only source of True Sight is 1 sentry on the AA, which they will drop and see the obs and kill off. That's kind of nice, I guess. Everyone gets settled in. We're gonna have a Divine Rapier soon.
Haste.
So we wait for 2 minutes. In the meantime, Medusa, check out the Aquila, pick up the big Rapier. Tinker is pretty much topped out. You can obviously upgrade that Soul Ring to something a little bit more flashy, perhaps. Get a Bloodstone, get some HP, something like that. King RD. Going really deep in. Has a Lincoln Sphere though, so Sheep Stick's not going to be a huge concern unless the Tinker really chases forward. Fuel Scepter on the puck, phase shift out, has a blink afterwards, should be fine. Unless he doesn't do it. Looks for the Tinker instead. Won't quite find him. Bounty Hunter is out in the middle of nowhere. It's not really an important hero for the Radiant at this stage, though. Like, track vision is kind of nice, but just being able to wander around is a little bit nicer. He is spotted by this sentry. He knows that it was there, though. I mean, he saw it. He obviously saw that because he has a gem. Will teleport out. Sentry will be dropped, and the second obs will be claimed. Mad Kings really want to know when this Roche is going to respawn. Unfortunately, I don't really have any easy way of finding out. Man, Anti-Mage can't even really like farm moon shards for his allies. Like they just don't do any right-click damage. It's just pointless. I mean, it's not like pointless, but just doesn't accomplish much. You need Refresher Orb on Tide. I would assume that's what he's going for right now. Puck has Dagon maxed out at this point. And he's actually pretty well done also. Took the 420 gold per minute, but I'm not really sure if gold is really their concern right now. The Ancient is, you know, at net loss 0. It's always going to be regenerating. They do see the Medusa with that rapier. They know 100% that's up. Dude, that doesn't work. He was hit with the frost effect and they still embraced him. Alright, Roshan's going to be up. 10 seconds. He got the Maelstrom up on the Brewmaster. He's pushing the level 25 mark. Didn't pick up the attack speed, though. I assume he's going to go for the Primal Split cooldown. I'm not really sure if Maelstrom is the item he wants to go for. I mean, it's good at clearing creep waves, obviously, but I feel like maybe AC is a little better. Okay, Roche. Okay, HFN, I get it. I get it. You're good at killing Roche. I understand. Alright, so double life anti-mage or cheese. Either way, it's like a double life. Get that magical shard for the Tide Hunter with a cheese at the ready as well. If they can't win off of this push, then the only way that paiN can win is by hoping that Mad Kings make a mistake. And you don't really want to be in that game state. Ooh, Sheepstick on Puck. That's a nice little side grade here. We'll ditch the travels for it. Nada on the front lines. Not really the hero they want to go for, but sometimes you just got to go for it, man. Doesn't have a buyback. Honestly, they don't know about this. They will see the Medusa for a split second. This march, though. Committing into this march, even though you may have 2 barriers. So dangerous. They need an ob, so right here. It won't last long up against the Bounty Hunter with the gem, but they need that extra vision. This is nighttime. This is the hardest part to make this push happen. RD is tracked up. Doesn't have any good targets, though. He would love to blink Sheepstick someone, but he just doesn't know where anyone is. We'll see Nada sheep him up. It's not good enough. They're going to have to fight straight into the Ancient, where it's really easy for these heroes to disengage into their fountain. Mad Kings are playing this so very well right now. Just firing off missile after missile after missile. Sid almost curses up someone. Foil in the back line, catches the Tinker. He's going to snap it himself, gets Force Staff right back into the fountain. They will leave the Winter Wyvern behind because, yeah, you missed your curse. You don't get to live. In the back line, it's the Brewmaster causing a little bit of chaos. The Puck does have that Aegis, so he's not really concerned. Aegis is going to go straight for Dookie, still gets petrified. It cuts through BKB. The Divine Rapier doing some serious damage now. Here comes the Ravage, and Divine Rapier is on the floor. Secondary Ravage coming in. Divine Rapier, I think, still on the deck. Medusa still doesn't have it. They'll take down the Anti-Mage once, but immediately going to buy back into the game. Double Ravage has already been used. They will find the Medusa, though, again. Yes, she's down. The Divine Rapier is lost. Everyone is lost, in fact. Looks like sometimes all you need is a double Ravage to win the game. paiN game. 48 minutes in. It's slow. It's steady. Does win the race after all over Mad Kings. Now, it wasn't just bullshitting. Mad Kings did have a really good shot at taking this game, even after being megaed. It's just paiN, just with the run of the map, absolutely no pressure on them. They can do literally whatever they want. Sometimes, it's just an anti-mage game. You can see the Mad Kings style, though. Still good enough. It is definitely enough to win a game over paiN, I feel. Perhaps with a slightly different draft? I don't know. Guys, we'll see. This is only game 1. Next game coming up soon. I'm Mike Loris, and I'll be right back.